Isn't that fucking wild? That's why you know you can't be on these things long term. Like long term, you gotta switch them up if you're gonna do long term. I was hallucinating hearing music and tore up my room trying to find the source. Oh, not to laugh, not to laugh. I'm sorry. Wow, wow. My stress causes me to sleep almost narcoleptic and I completely shut off my emotions. Ugh. That's how trauma is for me. Whenever I go through a traumatic experience or I'm reliving a trauma or there's something crazy that happens, I immediately go to bed. I once had depersonalization, derealization. It's a scary thing. What does that mean? So like you forget who you are and what the reality is? Oh, I'm taking magnesium 3 times a day. Did you just say to look at kaleidoscopes? Because I have a kaleidoscope collection. That's when you see things from outside your body, right? Oh, I remember when I was talking antidepressants when I was younger and I stopped taking them for a few days by accident. My brain was so fucked up from withdrawal. It was the weirdest and most unpleasant feeling ever. Oh yeah, I do not want to experience getting off of it. But I'm so lucky I have a really good doctor. Oh, I definitely disassociate from myself. So I have PTSD of disassociation just like randomly for things, but on this medication, I disassociate from my body. But it'll get better. It's just tweaking things. And honestly, like I'm not depressed, so that's great. I'll take these things over the depression feelings because I needed to ask for help. And now I don't feel like I need to ask for help. So that's great. I need to change my title. I think you can trust meds. I just don't think like, and I'm not knocking anybody who are on them long term, but I don't think that any one medication is meant to be taken long term. So like if you need meds and you need to like take them, you know, I think it's good to switch on and off of them and not to be on like, you know, or switch them up. Thank you, Draconius. Thank you. And also, before I hurt my back, the 6 months prior to hurting my back, maybe 8 months prior to hurting my back, I quit Adderall and I had a heavy addiction to Adderall. I was taking 30 to 60 milligrams, probably 5 days a week, most of the time for about 7 years. So I think also not only my dog passed and this surgery happened, but I was still trying to figure out my own brain how to produce the dopamine that the Adderall was giving it. Yeah, I hope I never do Adderall again. I hope to God I never do Adderall again. I found one pill and I flushed it down the toilet 2 days ago because it's so good. Like I can take Adderall and just get everything done, but I just know that it's the root of a lot of problems for me. Yeah, I know it's not good for me. Yeah, I hate that I am on it, but it's tough doing work when I'm not on it. That's the thing. That's the thing too. And you know what it is? When you take it for so long, you forget that you can exist without it. So how I really kicked my Adderall habit myself, I went cold turkey and I just got really depressed constantly. And then anytime I craved Adderall, I would just get up and I'd go for a fucking jog. And that's literally like how I kicked it. I'd be like, why am I really craving Adderall? Because I believe I won't be able to finish my work if I don't take it. But if I just got up and started my work now, then I don't need to take it. Or why do I really want Adderall right now? Because I'm tired and I feel like it's gonna make me get up and not be tired. Okay, well then I'm gonna get up and go for a run because that run is gonna give me energy. But you just have to You have 5 seconds. Your brain has 5 seconds to make that decision, right? That's literally, you have 5 seconds to make that decision and implement it. So if you can't do it within 5 seconds, yeah. The stress from my job is really hard. Yeah, I've created a lot of stress for myself, like going online and telling people about the pregnancy thing was a lot because I have a lot of people that want to comment on it. And then the stress of just like everyone commenting on your life sucks. And like in porn, you're taught to share your body. So you share everything because you think, well, I've already shared my body. I'm going to share everything. And this year is a year of learning for me. This year is a year of understanding that to better care for myself, I don't need to share everything, right? And I need to learn that hard limit because not everybody needs to know everything about my life, because that's gonna be a key thing to help me heal, is to learn how to keep things to myself. Like even my friends don't need to know everything about me. They don't need to know my day-to-day emotions or feelings unless I need help with them. But I need to understand that I can just talk to myself and work through some of these issues rather than like blabbing them out to the world, because it just creates this ripple effect of like everybody talking about my life to where I feel like my life isn't my control anymore, right? So in order to gain some of that aspect back, I need to be selfish with my emotions and selfish with my stories and selfish with what I'm willing to give away. You deserve your own self. Exactly. That's what I'm just learning this year, Draconius. Like, I'm literally just learning that. And it's so crazy because I'm 31. I never comment on your health since it's none of my business and you seem like the person that endures stuff and gets through it. Oh, thank you so much, WDD. You are in control, so why not start from within, right? Exactly. In response to you potentially not being to arch/reform person here whose significant other is also a sex worker that started her business 2 years ago, where she left the industry to focus on it, who had to deal with 6-figure tax payouts for the first year. She was freaked out from the loss of the main immediate income differential as well, but you'll be completely fine and you'll become stronger. Yeah, that's what I'm stressed out about. You know, I owe the government some money, and I don't want to be stuck owing them money for the next like 3 to 5 years. Like, just the way it's going, it's like, oh God, it's gonna be 3 to 5 years, you know? And I'm just like, I just don't want to. I just need $1 million now. But I put myself here, so I just have to look at it as a positive. You know, I put myself here, but I broke the chain. My mom was crazy, never paid her taxes, never paid her bills, had credit card debts. And you know what? It took me until 29 to start getting my tax situation correct. And I got my first credit card for my business. That's actually an Amex, a really big one. A year ago, I've never overspent on it, never even come close. And now, you know, even though I owe them money, I have plans to pay them, and I've paid immense amounts. So I broke the chain, you know, at least that. So it may have taken me a long time to learn it, but one day I realized like, oh shit, the reason why I'm not doing my taxes is because my mom made me fear paying bills because she was always running from debt collectors. Like, I grew up from her being like, don't answer that. That's a debt collector. Don't do this because it's just somebody wanting money for a credit card. And I realized that issue, even the little times I was around her, instilled fear in me to where I didn't even want to face it. But just by going to get, you know, tax lawyers and going to talk to the government and even signing away as much of my fucking savings to get as close as I can to straight with them was a fucking amazing learning lesson. And it was also the moment I broke the chain in the situation. So I don't ever want a child, but if I were to have a child, they would never be anything like my mom, and they would be 10 times better than me because I would never instill the habits that I so recognize now from my mom to them. So At least I've learned. It's weird how we inherit a lot of our parents' issues. Oh, 100%. Like I look at my life now for a lot of things and I'm like, whoa, this fear is just because my mom had it. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.